Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a new card from Phyrexia, Tyvar Jubilant Brawler. This is a 3-mana Planeswalker, 1 a black and a green, for a 3 loyalty Planeswalker with a static ability of you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. So in this deck, we're looking at Dried Arbor and other mana dorks like Ignoble Hierarch and Elvish and Noble Hierarch, Elvish Reclaimer, Knight of the Reliquary, Fiend Artisan, Mother of Runes. They're kind of just the ones that I'm trying out now, but I think there's actually a lot of cards you could play around with. Stoneforge Mystic builds seem really nice, especially if you don't have to wait a turn to actually activate the Stoneforge. I was even like looking at Ulvenwald Tracker, which is a card from, I believe, Avacyn Restored. 1 green and then 1 green and tap. Target creature you control, fight the creature your opponents control, or fight the creature you control. It's actually just target creature. What does Tyvar do for Maverick? I think it just speeds things up a little bit, which is nice. Especially not having to rely on creatures surviving a turn to make use of them is really strong, especially when it comes to Fiend Artisan and Knight of the Reliquary, and even Mother of Runes. There's been a lot of times where I've felt like Maverick's just been 1 turn too slow, and a lot of those key cards come up when it comes to kind of the why. And a big reason for including the Reclaimer as a one-of is because of how Tyvar increases the speed of these creatures having an impact on the game. I've actually included a Pachuca Bog, which typically I think is a little bit slow for Maverick, unless you have like a crop rotation package in the sideboard. Getting it off Knight or Reclaimer is usually just too slow against the decks where you really want Bog, that are typically going off on turn 1 or 2. But I think in this build, it would be pretty cool to see how it goes. I didn't change too much else to build around Tyvar. I did take out the Esper Sentinels from the build we were playing around with, just to fit in, obviously, the Tyvars, the Reclaimer, and a few other things. So hopefully the numbers are still okay, and we'll go from there. The other big thing, yes, is a second Cradle, which I think could be really strong, especially in a Tyvar build, and just the ability to kind of flood the board a little bit. It could mean that this deck needs something a bit more endgame than just, say, Solitude as a Fiend Artisan target, and maybe moving towards Hoof, but I didn't want to explore that space just yet. I just wanted to see how the deck fared with Tyvar in it, with a few small tweaks to see how that goes. So let us play some Magic. We are playing a Legacy League. We are playing Tyvar Maverick with play points. Go to gameplay. Nice, that should all be set up nicely. Very cool, hope you're all doing well. I believe Mark is streaming right now as well, so cool to see him getting some reps in with, I believe, just like a Punishing Saga build that he's been on for a while. Usually performing pretty well. But yeah, Tyvar is really interesting. Like, you could play some of like the modern combos that they have with cards like Devoted Druid. Yeah, a lot of room for creativity. All right. Up against Tony Ciccoponi, which is going to be a tough one. 2 no-landers is not the start that we want, and pretty similar hands as well. We are playing 22 lands, but we are playing 7 mana dorks, including our Dried Arbor, so I thought this would be fine. All right, I guess we're keeping this. I think it's going to be probably the Ramanap and the Dried Arbor we block here, but I might just want to make the land drop of Dried Arbor. I kind of want to keep 1 sword in case they are on mono red, and play something like a creature that is... I always forget its name. I think your Knight is a little bit more powerful than Ramanap. Alright. We'll just go ahead with Savannah into Ignoble Hierarch. Luckily, we have some pretty good cards against combo in the sideboard. Deafening Silence, Leyline, a few of the little cards. I assume Gamble here just going for Echo. Yeah. Yep. Okay. We do get our 7 back, but not as impactful as I would like. Maybe like a Green Suns for Collector Oof if we get a turn, or potentially a Thalia, but I think with 4 mana in play here, it's going to be pretty tough. He was playing Belcher earlier? Interesting. So this was the last deck that he looked to be on. Just a Tendrils type deck. Kind of like a Mardu, or not even a Mardu, just a red-black Storm deck. Yeah, I think in this matchup we'll be mulliganing quite aggressively for cards like Deafening Silence, or potentially even Leyline, just because it does turn off the Echo lines. But if they are playing this land, I'm going to assume they are in a Belcher build. Because I don't believe, yeah, we see it here. And there's Belcher. Alright. So what do I like taking out here? I actually think the Tyvars and the Grist are just a little bit too slow for this matchup, sadly. The Solitude can most likely come out. The Ramanap a little bit too slow. The Swords to Plowshares most likely as well. I don't mind keeping in something to have some interaction, but I'll bring in the Plague in case they're also on a like an Empty the Warrens sort of build. This actually lines up pretty well. I don't mind this. My only thought is having one piece of removal in the deck, but I think this is more than fine. This is a very slow hand with just Leyline. I'm not that big of a fan of it. This is a fine hand in the blind, but against combo, again, just want to mulligan to try to find, say, Deafening Silence. So, pretty happy to keep this. And if we're going to be kind of just relying on this Windswept Heath, I think the plan is probably bottoming the Plague Engineer, because we can find it through Green Suns for Fiend Artisan. And if we go turn 1 Deafening Silence and then rip a land, we can go turn 2 Thalia. But if we don't, we have Ignoble Hierarch to build out our mana. So I think Mum might actually be the card that I want to drop here. Okay. Yikes. Tough. Leyline's pretty cool. I mean, it gets around all interaction that I have other than Leyline, but I don't think I'm keeping Leyline just for that. It's tough because I guess we kind of echoed into it just like a 5 card. And the Leyline means they can like cast a second spell in our turn as well. probably just want to try to rip a land and go for Collector Oof off Green Suns. If not, I probably want to use the Green Suns just to build out my mana. Opposition agents in the board, it's just too hard to fit into the main deck. Okay. That's definitely a start. I will go for Bayou here. Just because it gives us some ability to cast these ley lines potentially down the line. Okay. Lucky, I'm going to say. I guess Agent in this matchup could be okay. I think it's just a little bit too slow. Especially only as a one-of. Hits Gamble, but not too much else. I guess if they're playing Wishclaw, maybe it's better than like a Mum. Maybe it's just worth having in the deck. But we'll see how it goes. Leyline's pretty sweet tech. That was pretty brutal. It makes me want to consider keeping a hand with Leyline a lot more, just to stop the echo lines off a Leyline. But I really want to have some sort of interaction. So like Leyline, Force of Vigor, green card, and like 2 lands, I'd be more than happy with that 5. That's probably what I want on the draw. Deafening Silence is fine, but really need to make sure it can stick. And being on the draw, you obviously have a lot less chance of that happening. Especially against Tony, who plays a lot of fast combo decks. Like, if you get to turn 3, something's going wrong. Don't kid yourself. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see the Leyline matchup like this. I don't think I've actually ever played against Leyline of Anticipation in Legacy, but it makes a lot of sense in this build, which is cool to see. It's always nice to see players trying out new things. Yeah, this is a pretty great hand. Although we don't have a great turn 1 play, we do have Leyline to buy some time to hopefully get Thalia down. It's kind of cool. So you got to get to nearly 6. So this card is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Flamestoker, and then 6 in red, sacrifice it, discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each oil counter on. Okay, just a pass. Alright. Now it comes down to that like 1 turn, because next turn we could Green Suns for Collector Oof. Potentially. Really, it's just like a little small game of inches. Engineers in case they go for empty. If they want to try to play around a like a Collector Oof line, they could go for an early empty. Okay, so now it's just the 1 that it costs. Wow. Right, Oof. Let's see what you got. I mean, Oof into Thalia is really, really nice for us. And I feel like Leyline just bought us a bunch of time to be able to do that. So although Leyline isn't like a winning part of the puzzle, it does buy us enough time to get to that winning stage, which is Collector Oof. So, I mean, that's kind of the power of Collector Oof right now. It's just like our kind of I win button against a lot of these fast combo decks. But yeah, a lot of stress because you gotta play a Noble Hierarch and untap. Like that's, yeah, doesn't always work out that way. Yeah, I guess it's tough because they can obviously win without Echo, but I think Echo is just such a big part of the deck that being able to shut it off with a free spell like Leyline is definitely worth like the mulligan choices that it creates, and does just buy you a lot of time. Like even little things like it does manipulate the amount of mana they can create with a Rite of Flame as well, which, you know, can buy you a turn, which is exactly what you're looking for. Like, even if we could untap and buy a turn to play Deafening Silence, that's huge as well. Alright, Luanil. This is probably going to be a mulligan. Especially with, like, triple knight but only one land, I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. Okay. Pretty happy to keep this and probably just bottom a land here. Probably the Savannah. Luanil traditionally on like Death and Taxes or Mono White, but I don't mind having Thalia. Especially just the ability to double spell turn 2 is quite nice. Alright. Start with Windswept for Savannah. This also allows us to somewhat double spell next turn if we lose the Noble Hierarch in both Mum and Wasteland. Knight's a pretty good draw, but I think here I much rather just play out this Thalia, seeing it's a Mox Opal deck. And then play Mum. Potentially hold this Wasteland for a Saga would be a huge play. And there we go. Alright. Painter. Interesting. Alright, let's take out Saga. And then I think here we actually want to play the Fiend Artisan and go for Collector Oof, but I could also see a world where we go for Knight and go for Caracas. We also have Knight into Bajuka Bog, which is cool. Hey, Highstar. I have no real thoughts on Spelldancer as I haven't played against it. Okay. Here we get to Swords Painter. I don't believe they can currently really do much other than Force of Will. I can also just Caracas the Emery. What do I want to do here? think we start with attacks. It's tough because Dreadhorde just had to attack. It didn't have to deal damage, and it didn't have to deal damage twice. It also wasn't an X1, which does open it up to a bit more removal than Dreadnought. But definitely interesting. Like, it pitches to Force, which is pretty big. It's actually a really tough spot. I think I just have to try to swords here. Okay. I definitely want to wasteland them here. And I want to play the Fiend Artisan as well. Start with an attack. Mum thankfully does protect from Painter, which is nice. Can then play Fiend. I could try to hold a land here, but I'm happy just to play this. Sack it for Wasteland. Just really hit them on mana. They're going to draw a card. Play a Petal and pass. Another Fiend. Okay. So they can just sack this and exile a graveyard. So attacking with Knight isn't great. I'm just going to sack the other Fiend here. Go and get Collect Oof. And again, attack with for 3. That's going to be really hard for them to beat. Yeah, nice. Okay. Ooh. It's going to be Mono Blue Painter, which I assume is going to be very close to the version that actually won the Legacy Challenge last night. I believe going 9-0 throughout the event, which is pretty surreal. And I believe it was Shark someone. Grizzlebrand, actually. So I'm going to assume it is this sort of deck. So we have Metallic Rebuke. In the sideboard, we have things like Plague Engineer and Dismember, which is pretty interesting. They have Spies to cast it, Moxes, of course. A few other things. I haven't seen Tyvar yet. It's only been 2 matches. I like the forces and the ley lines, that's easy. I do like the solitude. Deafening Silence on the draw is probably a bit better. The endurance is quite nice. Tyvars seem okay, but like getting back a collector oof is quite nice. Might just go down to like 1. Thalia still seem fine. Ramanap seems okay. Grist, swords, mana acceleration. Hey Mark, a huge thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. Welcome all those from Mark's stream. Currently playing against Luanil on Mono Blue Painter. Reclaim is nice because I can find both Bog and Caracas, but coming in tapped isn't really where I want to be. Still think mums are fine, especially if they are going after Collector Oof with Dismembers, but we also want to not open ourselves up too much to Plague Engineer as well. No P-Fire. I don't think Leyline is good enough just because we have enough answers to deal with Emery that I think Leyline can definitely pass. But Deafening Silence is interesting. We have a bit of time to think about this as well. Knight's still pretty strong. It could actually be, like, the endurance might just not be needed because we have a lot of hate for the actual combo. And sadly, I think it is just Tyvar here. I think against the combo decks, it's not as good as it could be. Okay. I actually don't mind this hand. Like, double swords to keep the board clear early on. We also have Wasteland and Force of Vigor in case of Saga, so... Although it doesn't have, like, a straightforward plan, I'm pretty happy with this. Hey, nice, Stress. We'll definitely take you up on that. Okay. So I have 2 cards left. Hey Lord, a huge thank you for the Prime sub. For the sub, sorry. A huge thank you. Green card? Oh, actually, are these all? Oh no, they're all blue cards. Okay. Here we're just getting rid of the Emery straight away. But it is really tough if they have... It's actually really tough because they already have 3 mana. They play Grindstone, they have the Mox Opal online, and then if they have like another mana, they can just go off. I don't mind swordsing the Painter here, although they get some value off the Emery. It does just take the Painter out of it. I think I'm actually happy just dealing with a Painter here. But it's definitely a tough one. I'll also get a Scrubland. It's just nice to take them off like one piece of the combo so they don't have to find just one more. They now have to find both. Okay. Sure. Okay, so they can actually return one of these in response to removal with the Mox Opal. Fiend. That is a card for the 4th. So here I actually like just Wasteland on the Tomb and then passing. See how they want to use their mana. Needle. Needle's fine. Do they tap the other mana? That's the big question. Fiend's been really good wired. It's been really nice. It's a really nice Green Sun's target when you're not too sure what you want to go for yet. Needle is on Caracas. Okay. I have 2 cards left. I kind of just want to go for their mana. I wouldn't mind doing that. A little bit more aggressive, but... Actually, what if we go... Swords on Emery... See if they return. Which also turns off Metallic Rebuke. This is fine. And I now will go after these 2. They're gonna force that, but you can just member. Okay, that's fair. Pretty good. Does mean I don't have a clean out to the Emery, but hopefully that's okay. Could get dried up here, but I don't want to open myself up to dismember, so I'm happy just to pass. Draw. Hey Phil, I think Tyvar has a lot of potential, but it might have to be like built around a little bit more than how I'm currently doing it. But yeah, I think with the turn before with Emery and using the Force of Vigor, I probably could have done it a little bit better, because obviously if you destroy the Painter, they can just get it back down the line. Come on, Green Suns, I need you, boy. Mum's not gonna do it. 1, 2. get back painter. Alright, one draw step. They get to see the top card. So now they know what we're drawing into. Yep. I don't mind deafening silence on the play. I think mums are where I can skimp. Mum are obviously nice, but I think they're okay. Tough one. We have some nice answers to things like Urza Saga and Emery, but we don't actually have any combo interaction other than like not. Yeah, no. I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. A lot better. I'll bottom the Cradle here, I think. And just keep my mana on point. Happy to lead on Deafening Silence to stop any really quick starts. Endurance is pretty good, but I feel like 2 is enough. We have enough hate to try to stop them from going for the combo most of the time. That I usually find it's hard to find the extra slot for Endurance number 4. Number 4? Maybe it's number 3. Okay. Pretty happy just to play out the Wasteland here. It's tough though, because like Soul Land into Grindstone just does it. Oh, we can't. Tough. Can't Green Suns for Oof because our own Thalia. Okay. We get a turn. Oh my gosh. Just in the nick of time. Turns off everything of theirs. Like, even to just remember they can't cast with one land because they need the extra Thalia attacks. Okay, they have an island. Kappa. I didn't realize they were playing Kappa. Okay. Well, how about a 5/5 first striker? That also turns off Dismember, I guess? This is actually Mono Blue Painter. So this is the list that won the Legacy Challenge. I just need another threat. I just need another threat. And of course we can attack with more than one creature. Ooh. Don't really want to swords anything here. If I swords the Kappa, they go up to 9, they go down to 4. I kind of have to, right? They are tapped out. I guess I could attack with both, that's probably correct. Yeah, because they like... I guess this gets rid of the painter, which is nice, but... I could see a world where it's actually incorrect. Because now they can nearly use Saga. If they have another land. But it has to be a non-artifact... You love to see it. Nice. Hey, Code Diamonds. Very cool to see you. Hope you're well. I've been really enjoying seeing your junk lists in Modern on Twitter. Big fan. Hope you're doing well. How did the stream go? What did you play and what did you play against? This hand, obviously, we can't cast too much. A lot of 3-drops and don't have a green source, which is pretty rough. So pretty happy to mulligan this. Again, mana just isn't really there, but that is more than fine. These things happen. Okay, pretty happy to keep this. It's probably the Cradle going back. And probably the Grist. That makes a lot of sense. We actually have a nice... like, really nice curve with this hand as well. Back-to-back 3/2s? Nice. I need to look up this card. Trample Domain. Brawl is equal number of basic lands among types you control. I assume you run Triomes with that, and that's what really pumps it up. But pretty cool. I saw you were looking for a 2-drop that fit into that slot. Fitted into that slot. Yikes. Up against Reanimator. Which isn't all doom and gloom, but at the same time, quite tough to beat, especially on the draw. They have 3 cards left. I'm going to assume it's like Duck, Rit, Entomb, some sort of Reanimate effect. Ah, Leyline Binding, of course. Wonder if this version's playing the new Atraxa or not. That'd be pretty cool to see. Yeah, definitely a lot of Reanimator in leagues. A very, like, good deck just to grind with. Like, fast leagues. Kind of win or lose in the first couple of turns. Alright. Thankfully, we do have a fair bit for Reanimator. What I want to take out is the slow stuff, so things like Grist, Ramanap. Again, just not really where I want to be for combo. Like, to get a Tyvar down and then have Knight online at instant speed is just too much to ask against a deck like Reanimator, so pretty happy to drop that. I could even see Fiends coming out. Mums are probably coming out before Fiends, though. We're definitely bringing in the Leylines, the Deafening Silences, the Solitude, the Endurance. I don't mind one of these 3. Typically, Force to Vigor is great against Animate Dead, as the creature doesn't actually get a chance to come into play. Night of Autumn could potentially take out something like Serenity, but I think for now I'm happy taking out these. And then maybe just having a Night of Autumn. Even like Green Suns off the top to be able to destroy an Animate Dead is pretty nice. Swords, Mana Acceleration, Thalia's, Endurance, yeah. Yeah. I think if I'm going to have one of these effects in the deck as well, having a Green Suns target over a Force is quite nice too. But Leyline start would be great, and then either Mana Acceleration into like Thalia or Deafening Silence is really, really nice. But Leyline obviously great against Reanimator, but also buys a lot of time for us to build out our mana base, or our board state. I am playing 61 just because of, from a testing perspective, I wanted to fit in the 3rd Tyvar. But I think I would cut probably on either Tyvar or... That's what I actually couldn't cut, because I wanted to have 6 Mana Dork, so I added in the Reclaimer and the Tyvar as like kind of the 61st card. Not too sure which one it is, but... Probably the Reclaimer more so than the 3rd Tyvar. But yeah, I'd love to see it. Love to see it actually do some work. Just not really where we want to be. Yeah, giving the opponent a little bit of a chance. 1561. They could be on Show and Tell as well. Be pretty brutal. But we didn't see an Underground Sea. Looks more like just a straightforward kind of build of kind of Mardu Reanimator. At least we can mulligan quite aggressively as well. Hey Luanil, stock is usually splashing for Sneak and Show out of the board. Oh, Show and Tell, sorry. Okay. Sadly, just a real no-lander. I mean, it has Endurance, but I think I'm happy to go to a 5. I think this hand is just weak to interaction into Go Off, which typically is what I'm going to expect out of Reanimator, especially if they kept a 5, so pretty happy to try to mulligan for Leyline, and a nice hand as well. So here I'm happy to keep, and then I'm probably bottoming 1 land and the Ignobled Hierarch. And then I can just Green Suns off the top for Dryad Arbor to get some sort of pressure going. This also turns on 3-drops off the top, which is really nice. Or something like Thalia into Wasteland at probably best case. Yeah, I think this is definitely a matchup where it's worth mulliganing aggressively for card quality over card quantity. But the Scrubland could just be aware here. Okay, well there's like that play we just talked about of Wasteland into Thalia. Surely they have Wear here if they've exposed the Scrubland. There's no other card I'd expect. There you go. Tear. Sorry. Not Wear. It's Tear. But hey, for a 5, like we now have a lot of pressure going, which is nice. We have a Swords as backup if needed. Do they play out like a Petal? Hey Felman, thanks for the follow. Hope you're doing well. A big thank you to all of you for coming in and watching. Don't massacre me. Please let us fiddle me. What's this gonna be? Oh, they unmask me. Okay. The pretty good unmask. Okay. That allows me to build out the board and also just keep attacking, which is nice. Also turns on 3-drops off the top, which is very relevant. Stronghold Gambit, nice. Oh, missed land drop, interesting. Alright. Kind of feel like a Delvic player here, just like attacking for 3 each turn, opponent a little bit off land. I think the best straw that I have is just Endurance. Being able to give me some graveyard hate off the top and also just added pressure would be huge. The Ignoble Hierarch also means I don't have to attack with both creatures to make 3 damage each turn. I can just attack with the Thalia, which is great, allowing me to hold up the Dryad Arbor. Which also doesn't give away that I have Endurance in hand. Okay, that's pretty good. But now if they have Entomb into get back Archon, I kind of want to have the swords at the ready. But obviously getting the Fiend into play would be fantastic as well. But what is Fiend really doing? Fiend turning into 1/2/3 mana. Get like a collector oof potentially. I think here I'd actually rather just hold up the swords than play out the Fiend Artisan because of Entomb. I'd hate to lose to the Entomb into Archon and like discard the swords. Oh, they go for a Traxxas. Okay. It's kind of cool. Oh, and they have grief. Yikes. It is a legendary creature, so we do have Caracas still as an out. Do I care about getting rid of the grief? I don't think I do. I think I allow them just to take the swords and then we have the Fiend to play. Potentially. Pretty good. Yikes. Haste? No. Okay, good. Nice. Okay. I think my chances are less than 1%, but we'll see how we go. We have a like Fiend into Night of Autumn for the Animate Dead. I assume just an Archon here. I think Archon just seals it. Archon's just a threat on its own that I have to deal with as well, which is very hard to do during one card. Especially if I lose a creature here as well. I think in that case I just have to deal with the... get rid of the Thalia. In case I draw into... I was going to say Green Suns for Grist. And... like, draw Caracas and then Green Suns for Grist. Yeah. Tough. Not too much there. A lot of combo this morning, which is pretty interesting. Usually there's some amount of either like initiative or Delver, but yeah, like Black-Red Tendrils, Painter, Reanimator. Maybe I just need to go back to like a league-heavy sideboard of just playing like Surgicals and a few more free spells. Mixing up a bit of like the Leyline, Deafening Silence, hate. But hey, if you guys enjoy this content, you can find me on YouTube. Oh. I wouldn't count Initiative as combo, no. I'd say it's like mid-range. Although the cards have a lot of synergy, I wouldn't necessarily call it a combo deck. Alright, Wang. Okay. It's kind of cool. Get access to turn 2 Tyvar. Hopefully it's relevant. We do have Endurance as well, in case this is just a quick graveyard hand. But hey, we all came to see Tyvar. Here we go. Bloodstain Mire typically means that. And Badlands also typically means that. Okay, they're going to start with looting, which is great for us, because even if they have discard, we can endurance them before anything else. We'll see how they stack their triggers. They're going to look first. Okay, I think here we just pitch the Noble because we have the Green Suns. I think Wasteland's the only... Like, we're definitely green sunning for Dried up here. I think Wasteland's the only thing that would change that. Just going to go for a Bayou. And try to get Tyvar going. This also turns on, like, Hardcast Endurance, potentially. A few other things. Panda, you can send me whatever you want. It can be Delver, but I'm open to you. 2 cards left. Reanimate my Endurance. Okay, that's fine. Interesting they didn't get back their Grief. Did they have something else? Ah, Exhume, okay. To be fair, not that bad. Like, we do have a lot of live outs here, which is nice. Okay, that's a start. Should have actually played the Windswept Heath because they don't know about the Verdant, but here we are. Also happy just to Swords the Grief here and now. Ah, they just saw the Verdant with Grief. That's very true. I think this like Green Suns for Night here would be really nice. Look, they have a slow clock, which is nice for us. And we have a lot of things we can draw into, and also cast right now, which is fantastic. Obviously, I'd rather just have a big creature of my own than actually have to spend removal on the Endurance. Please not like this. Please not like this. Don't want to draw the scrub land, so I'll just get that out of the deck right now. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright. The fetch from them is not good. I assume this is going to be a Grief hardcast. Alright. Abzan land's doing strong. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I guess I get a turn. I get a turn. We're all good. I need to find exactly... No, I don't get a turn, because I have to draw, like, exactly swords for this, but then I lose the Dried Arbor here, so... Tough. Yikes. That's a big yikes. Again, Mums. Ley Lines. Deafening Silence. Endurance. Solitude. Ramanap. Tyvars. Grist is definitely interesting. I might actually cut on Mana Dorks. I don't think Agent is good enough. It does turn off, like, Entomb, but a lot of the Entomb draws just beat out on opposition Agent. Just too fair. Yeah. Rough. Alright. I guess we keep Solitude and White card and lead on Savannah Ignoble. Tough. I guess here we just let this resolve and we keep one of them. If they take the Solitude, we still have swords. If they take the swords, we still have just draw into her. Ah, but they can obviously get back our own creature. They're just going to double grief us? Okay. And then what, land reanimate? Tough. guess like a Thalia off the top would be fantastic. They're both being a blocker for this and also just taxing them on mana. It's not too bad. Double green for endurance down the line. Dust of Duck Ritual. Alright, deck, come on. Come on. Alright, that's definitely a start. I think here we just want to go for Hierarch. And then trade it into a... Oh, Reclaim is actually pretty nice as well. Reclaimer does give access to Bojuka Bog, but right now I don't really need that. I think it is just going to be a Noble. And then get this Fiend Artisan bigger. But Cradle... Maybe like Artisan into Cradle was where I wanted to be. Hey Mangork, welcome. Hope you're well. I actually think Thalia here is better than Collector Oof. It taxes as well, which is nice, and also just keeps the Solitude from attacking. So I think now we've got a small stable on the board. Oh my gosh. Tough. Not too much to do there. Damn, Reanimator. Just back and back. It's actually funny how different it would be if I did, like, Solitude Pitch Swords on the Grief, but That's just not... Yeah, that just isn't aligned for me. Tough. Maybe I should have just got Dried Arbor. Like, maybe I'm supposed to think about Exalted just being the out, but tough. The game one was definitely rough as well. At least we can try to finish this as a 3-2, which is nice. Hasn't really been the league for Tyvar though. A lot of combo, which is pretty tough. A lot of like sideboard games that heavily won in games 2 and 3, but obviously not Reanimator today. Maybe the extra endurance on the board is worth it. Just tough. I think I do need to make space for a 23rd land. Especially when 1 is Bog, 2 is Cradle, 1 is Dried Arbor. Mana is definitely the most important part. Tough. I think I did cut a Thalia as well, which obviously, yeah. Maybe going back to the full 4 is where I should be. Alright, Bruno. What do you got? Yeah, obviously slow, but not too bad. It's pretty cool. You can go like turn 1 Ignobled Hierarch, turn 2 Tyvar, untap Ignobled Hierarch. Although I can't swords off Ignobled, so I can't actually like turn 2 Tyvar and swords unless this was a Noble Hierarch. But of course with Noble it's a little bit harder to get the black unless you go for a black source, but I think here we'll just be going for a Savannah because it pretty much opens up the rest of the hand. I'm gonna keep 7. Chancellor. Okay, most likely gonna be a white initiative. It's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be Reanimator again. This is how we fall. This is how I never come back to streaming. Okay. It's actually quite nice. Hey, Jar Jones, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. Chancellor, sure. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I've just sixed through, haven't I? Wow. That's a bummer. That's a big bummer. That is tough. I actually think here we just go bog them, and then next time we get to play Thalia around the first Chancellor attacks. And then we have two blockers for... I guess we take one more hit from... two more hits from Grief, and then we have blockers in Thalia. But we do get Tyvar next turn. We get Tyvar into Noble, and then some other shenanigans? Okay. Okay. I can get Cradle of Night? No, I need extra mana for that. Ritual up to 4 mana? Is this Grief? Oh my gosh. So close to getting Tyvar in line. Tough, especially to give them that extra land, that extra turn as well. Brutal. Maybe the play was... I think the play there was like hold Noble and then Green Suns for Grist game 1, but... yeah, skipping that turn was just GG's. Tough. Yikes. I'm gonna keep the Grist in. See how it plays out. Go down on a Mana Dog. This all seems pretty good. Tough. Throwing games. Alright. Yeah, why not? Why not? Probably want to get a... I guess I can start with Caracas and then see what we draw into. But if we start with Caracas, I can't turn to Fiend Artisan. I think in that case of the Chancellor, I just want to go land pass. Chancellor by itself I'm not actually too scared of. I actually think this is probably worth getting rid of. This also turns off like Exhume, which is quite nice. Alright, hopefully we can get this one. Still have Green Suns as a live draw. Just keeping them off this Faithless Looting is pretty nice as well. Oh my gosh. You got one draw. Tough. Tough. We got this. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Boom. See? Just that easy. Okay. That's a start. We can also double block this Grief. Okay. I'm feeling it. There's two cards that I don't want to see, and I think we know what they are. No Archon. Okay, no Archon. That's quite nice. No attacks for them. Alright. What can we do here? Oh, okay. Okay. Now we're talking! Now we're talking! I can play it instant speed as well. I can play it instant speed. I believe we also still have Bojuka Bog in the deck. I also don't mind just drawing a card here, to be fair. Okay. Okay. Nice. Still just going to play a little bit slow. Upkeep, I will take them off this Badlands, though. Turn off that that flashback. We're just going to run this back. Oof. We get one. We get one game. We get a game. But yeah, I think maybe like... Maybe if I'm going Tyvar, you're just going to go full combo and play like the Devoted Druid combo and try that out in Legacy. Especially if you can get it on like quite early on with Tyvar, I could see it being a little bit more reliable, and then still having a nice little Green Suns package with cards like Collector Oof is pretty cool. You also get the pitch cards of Endurance and Solitude, which are fantastic. I don't know. I don't know, but here we are. Deafening Silence, I think, is fine. This isn't a Leyline hand, but it is pretty good. It doesn't really beat a, I think I just have to mulligan into Leyline, to be fair. And it's actually a good hand as well, so pretty happy to keep this. Probably bottom a Wasteland. Wow. Go for Bayou. Go for Noble. I think Deafening Silence is still strong on the draw. I think it's just enough, especially as like a turn 1 piece. That is going to grief us? Okay. Not too bad. They probably take the Grist here. I think they definitely take the Grist here. I guess Deafening Silence doesn't really turn off Ritual completely because you can't just Ritual into a Grief. Haven't tried the new Nahari, no. Okay. This is pretty interesting. I can take them off the Badlands and also Collector Oof them. Or hold up Endurance. I kind of like getting down the Collector Oof. Like hitting their mana this turn. A little bit tough if they get back the Grief, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, that's fine. Not really in a position where we want to be blocking either, so I'm happy to just try to like race them a little bit potentially. But yeah, Reanimator on my own creatures is pretty rough if they do that. It's gonna hold up in the Leyline. The Endurance is like a target for myself in case they try to reanimate either Grist. I guess in case they try to reanimate Grist. I don't want to show the Wasteland either, so I'll probably just play the Savannah here. Yeah, Nahiri sounds pretty interesting. I actually haven't read it, so I have no idea what it does, but it's always cool to see new Planeswalkers potentially hit Legacy and not be like a Ren or an Oko, and be a bit more like a Minsk. Come on, Knight, where are you? I guess I should just Bojuka Bog myself, to be fair. Get rid of Reanimate. Oh, it's pretty good. I think I will just go after this. Okay. Nice. Oh, there's Knight. Happy to attack with both. Knight will just be a 2/2, but I think that's okay. Does put lethal on board even if they have one blocker. Nice. Alright, well we finished 3-2. We'll also open up this chest. See what we get. Nice. Obviously, if I thought it was going to be 5 combo decks, I might have played the list a little bit differently, but I do like what Tyvar brings to the deck. It's just a shame we didn't really get to see it all that often. I think as well that potentially I should move away from having some like more fair cards in the sideboard like Carpet and just go full on towards combo for sideboard, especially for leagues. I think leagues are quite heavy for combo decks, especially when new sets come out and people are trying new things. I think like sticking to a pretty like kind of easy straightforward deck like Reanimator is quite a good choice, because you can just jam leagues, you know what you're doing, you don't really have to care about too much about what your opponent's doing. So I think like punishing those players is probably where I want to be in the board right now. But yeah, I'm not too sure kind of on numbers for Tyvar. But yeah, sadly just didn't really get to see it. That's tough. But yeah, I think it's a good card. I think it's a good card that has a lot of synergy within the deck. It's just trying to find out probably how fair you can go or how much towards combo you can go. Because I do believe with the resurgence of a lot of people in Modern now trying out more Devoted Druid lists that could form something in Legacy. Maybe not like a tier 1 or tier 2 strategy, but I think it could be like a side of Delver that you want to play if you want to have like an I win button, which I think is pretty important right now. You know, when Goblins has things like, you know, turn 1 Lackey into turn 2 Muxus, you have Natural Order out of Elves, you have, you know, Marit Lage out of Depths. Maverick doesn't always have that I win button. I think Collector Oof is actually probably the closest thing to it at the moment, but otherwise It's pretty cool. I was going to try out Stoneforge with Tyvar. It was just hard to find a slot for it. Because typically you want at least 4 or 5 slots for Stoneforge and equipment. But I think Tyvar with Stoneforge is pretty cool, especially if you get like a Caldra, get it into play straight away and start attacking. But yeah, there wasn't too many cards that I thought of when it came to what I really wanted to try out with Tyvar. I actually picked up a Tracker as just like a Green Sun's target that could also be removal, but I did move away from that because I think it's just a little bit too cute. I don't want to get to the stage where I'm just adding bad cards to the deck because they might play well with Tyvar. Which, hey, you could say is Maverick. Hey all, but yeah, see how that goes. That's me. A huge thank you for you guys coming and watching. If you want to find me on YouTube, you can find me here. If you want to find me on Twitter, find me here as well. I'm going to see who else is streaming. I believe Mark said someone else was streaming, so I am going to find them and send you over there. But hey, enjoy your weekends. Sorry I couldn't put up more of a fight, but yeah, definitely a tough league for sure.
Either way, like blocking a 1.
Does anyone have anyone that'd like me to raid? Because currently I can't really find anyone. Draft, EDH. You are wrong. All good. I'm going to send you guys over to GG's Live because they actually have some pretty cool content that is just ongoing Magic content. But hey, a huge thank you once again. Big thank you to Panda for hitting the Delver play. Thank you for the message as well. I got your list and I'll put it together for this week. But until then, take care and I'll catch you next time.